These are my Week 6 college basketball rankings. We can just dive on in here. The first one, obviously, you see it. Iowa State, I got to put them at number 2. I know Duke and Arizona have the precedent with more wins, and I think, honestly, like more big-time wins. I just think it's a limitation of the schedule at this point compared to Arizona's schedule with theirs. That beatdown of Purdue was right up there with Michigan Gonzaga as the most impressive win of the year. It might stay that as well. So just their dominance, I have to move them up to 2. Hey, it's my list, so that's how I feel. I'm betting on the Cyclones here the rest of the way. But the rest of the top is relatively the same. In my opinion, I think from 16 on, that's kind of when it gets harder to rank. Meaning, I think 1 through 15, I'm pretty confident in them and kind of explaining why I have them ranked there. And I like all those teams, to be honest. And then from 16 down, I think it's harder for me to rank. Shout out to some teams in here. Georgia and Virginia. They move up into the rankings here, move up a lot. Had some really impressive wins, good-looking wins here. We'll see if they stay, but their schedule is not too hard going down. They both, SEC and ACC are good conferences, obviously. They're one of the main conferences, but I think the Big Ten and the Big 12 are kind of separated a little bit as the better ones with the higher top-tier teams. So, hey, for those two teams, I feel like we're probably going to see them in this range the rest of the season. So, good seasons coming up for Virginia and Georgia. Then the Big Falls behind them, you have Tennessee and Kentucky. Tennessee with 3 losses in a row. Not in the same fashion as Kentucky, but still 3 losses. They're relying a lot on Jacoby Gillespie for shooting. Nate Ament, their big freshman, was always more raw, but now with him getting a ton of possessions because he's their main guy, as you would expect, the efficiency has been less than ideal that comes with it. But I still don't think they're a bad team or anything. And then Kentucky is different. I've voiced my concerns about Kentucky already a lot. You guys know how I feel about them. I'm more really concerned about Mark Pope and that program, like at least for the long term. And then for right now, they have just looked terrible, look so bad. I'd like to see them versus a middle team like in Indiana to see if they're like, okay, maybe they just can't be good teams or maybe they are actually really screwed. But Jaden Quaintance, I guess we'll see when he comes back in January. He was great, but for Arizona State last year as a high key transfer, we'll see how he does. But yeah, we'll see if they're screwed versus Indiana or hey, maybe they just can't be good teams. And then we got some good games coming up during the week. Florida UConn on Tuesday after Florida's impressive performance versus Duke. Arizona Alabama, a top tier matchup there. Arkansas Texas Tech, I think is going to be pretty good. Kind of hard fought game there. And then a rivalry game with 2 potential bubble teams trying to get in Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. So should be another good week of basketball.